Minimum wages. Okay, let's go to minimum wages. What is it about minimum wage that attracts such ongoing publicity? I mean, I know at the moment there's been a lot of problems, a lot of outcry in New York about the $15 an hour minimum wage, and that's a big jump. And I don't think it's the minimum wage itself, the principle of it. I think it's the amount that it's jumped to. You see, looking at minimum wage, I'd always I don't really care whether people are on minimum wage. I don't think people should earn less or more. I don't have a problem with people earning less or more. There's something about minimum wage that is a bit unwholesome. And it almost feels like there's more going on in the background, it's I mean, this is coming from me, who is a believer in UBI, which is universal basic income. So I think that everybody should have a wage, whether they're working or not. But looking at a minimum wage, what the biggest problem for me is that it's like you're paying more money out, but not getting any more value. And I think that is a problem for businesses, because they do have expenses to cover. They do have to make a living. They do have to survive. They do have to have cash flow. And are a lot of small businesses, and as harsh as it sounds, but are they there to support local, members of staff? Are they there to make sure that everybody gets a living? I mean, it's a nice feeling when you've got a team of people and because of what you're doing, they've got a nice standard of living. And people should have a nice standard of living. There's no doubt about that. But is it sustainable by having a minimum wage rate? See, let's look at that. You've got the move to inflation. So obviously, if wage rates go up, then you've either got to grow the business. I mean, I've not put my fees up for something like 15 years, but our staffing costs have risen enormously. So we're doing okay because we have a large volume of clients, and we offer other services as add-on products. But our core fees haven't really changed much. I'm not really looking to change them either. But a lot of people don't grow the business, so they're stuck with higher costs, but they're not getting more business in. So they've got to start raising their prices. And what happens when you start raising prices is you've got inflation. So you've got to keep raising people's wages on a minimum wage rate to keep that going. And it's employers will often look at alternatives. So they'll look at maybe using people from lower wage countries, or looking at software or robots, or just really getting mingier with what people do, less sitting around time, less, instead of having a half an hour chit chat, coffee, stops, and all the other little perks that people get, maybe they're cut down. I mean, there's an argument that the more you look after your staff and the more you pay people, the happier they are coming to work. But we all want more money. It's just that, do we get more value for that money, and more loyalty, and more people wanting to do the job better? And we don't know. You get good people that are good people, and I've always found that people are good people regardless of what you pay them. So you should look after them. And then the market, in any other area, you go by what the market can bear. So if a job pays X, then that's the wage. If people don't do a good job, then don't keep them around. And if they do a good job, then maybe you want to pay them a bit more, because as an individual they do a good job. So I'm not in favour of a minimum wage rate, not because I don't want to pay people, but because I think you should get some value about what you're paying. I've got some great people in here, and I pay them more than that because they're worth more than that. But you can get two people doing the same job. One does it better. One's more reliable. So it should be a choice, and there is no real evidence. I mean, economists have been arguing this subject for years. There's no real evidence that it actually reduces poverty, or it actually does any good. In fact, at best, what the economists tend to say is that introducing a minimum wage rate does nothing, because like I say, you've got to keep that up. So what's the alternative? Well, I don't think anyone in the government's going to listen to me, but you do have alternatives, because if you want to pay people more money, I just don't believe it should be an onus of the business. So maybe an increase, a substantial increase in the personal allowances, maybe other types of benefits that you can give to people. Maybe even, and this is a hard one, maybe you've got to look at what a business is, and a business is by its own nature an opportunity. It's a centre of opportunities. So if you're working for a business, then why can't those opportunities fall on you as well? I mean, people watching this are not people that are business owners, so it doesn't apply. But looking at your staff rate, the people that work for you, would you not be happy if people took initiative and became of value? If you had somebody that came to you and say, "Hey, I need more money. What can I do to earn that money?" Rather than, "I need more money because my rent's gone up. What's in it for me? And you could say to them, well, maybe bring in a few more clients, maybe up that, maybe get everybody into there, and they can then say, well, I don't really know how to do that, and you can, oh, pleasure, I'll put you in a training plan. And I just know that I know that if I, for instance, started off in a company, even if I was cleaning the toilets, I know that very quickly I would make myself far more useful than cleaning the toilets. And people, I have cleaned the toilets in here, and then not good. But I know that people have opportunity, and if they want to take it, maybe we should encourage. We should encourage that, but I just don't believe that our business is there yet, especially small businesses, as a social endeavour. I think we're there to make a few quid and to perpetuate our products and. So if I was going into a company as a consultant working at staff, I would be looking at those and saying, come on guys, how can you make this business better? And therefore some of the profits will land on you. I think giving everybody a raise just because they're sat there doing the same job they always do in the same way is giving more money away without getting any better value. And there'll be people that will be much happier than that, because then they're truly valued. You don't need government legislation to say pay me more money. I hope that sort of idea works for you, because if I was ever to go into politics, that's what I'd be going at. Come on guys, look after the companies you work for. You don't need to wait for them to look after you. And then, like I say, no government interference. So I hope that brings that point to bed.